cannot live on a word from yesterday. So you can't live on the manna from yesterday. You can't live on the manna from last week. So you get a revelation yesterday, you get a revelation last week, last year, and you think that's going to sustain you today. It's not. Hey y'all, welcome to Lilac Love. My name is Nicole, and on this channel I talk all about Jesus, the Bible, and how to walk in freedom. And today I want to talk to you guys about God's daily manna. So this has been on my heart a lot lately, like just the concept of manna. And my prayer in the mornings have been like, Lord, give me your fresh manna today. Like, what is it that you want me to receive? What do you want me to hear? What do you want me to understand? What do you want me to know? Like, I'm ready. Give it to me fresh, Lord. And if you don't know, manna was like this bread-like substance that the Israelites made, like God rained down this substance. They made it into this bread-like thing, and it was called manna, and that's what they ate, and it sustained them while they were in the wilderness. And so God just provided that to them the whole time. And he said, take as much as you need for that day. Like, they weren't supposed to take more. And when they did, it ended up being like stinky and gross and had maggots and stuff like that. So they were only supposed to take a day's worth of manna. And so, like with us, like God wants to give you a fresh word every day. He wants to give you a fresh outpouring every day. Like he wants you to receive something new every day, and he has that for you. And so if you draw near to him and you seek him out, he's like, I got something new for you every day. And the thing is that some of us, we want a month, I can't talk, a month. Why am I feel like I'm not even saying that word right. Months, a month. Y'all get what I'm saying. Let's say a week, because I don't know why. You know how sometimes a word just don't work right? It just don't feel right. It don't sound right, even though you know the word and you, anyway, a week's worth of manna, a week's worth of manna. And we're like, God, I want to know this month, a week's worth, a year's worth of manna. And God's just like, well, I can't give you that much. I just can only give you today, you know? And we're wanting all this, understanding and revelation for this long extended period of time. And God can't give that to us because we won't be able to really absorb it, really soak it in, really understand it. And it makes me think of like, okay, like a kid who's learning 2 + 2 is 4. They only know 2 + 2 is 4. That's the kind of math they're doing. And you try to give them an algebraic equation, they're not going to be able to understand what that is. It's like it has to slowly build. They do 2 + 2 is 4. They're doing adding and subtracting. Then they get division and multiplication. And later on, they can get to the crazy stuff, the algebraic equations. And it's the same thing with like our spiritual life. Like, we are in a 2 + 2 is 4 stage, and we're asking God for the algebraic equation. He's like, bro, I can't give that to you. Like, you are not going to be able to understand it. I got to give you a little bit at a time. And it's the same, like, in the word, it says, like, give spiritual milk, and then, the meat, the substance. But when we're in different seasons and we're learning different things and we're growing in different areas, like God, he has to give us just a little bit at a time, because he can't just dump it all on us, because even like in real life, like if you had, a week, a year's worth of food, and you have all of that in front of you, and you try to eat that in one day, you can't. Like, you'll throw up. Like, you can't eat all that. And so spiritually, I feel like, I know for me, maybe y'all can relate, but I know that I will be wanting God to give me, like, help me understand it all. Let me know. Like, give me this revelation of everything about life and all this stuff. And God's just like, honey, I cannot give that all to you today. You can't comprehend it. And we like get upset and we get frustrated because we're not understanding and knowing everything in one day or in one week, like, we're constantly learning. For one, we're a people of learning, and we'll be learning until we die, and there's things that we're not going to comprehend and understand until we get to heaven, but we're like on a journey. And so, like, There are things, 40 years from now that I'm going to be able to digest and understand and comprehend that I can't right now. And it's because God's going to give me a little bit every day where I can understand more of the other stuff and the bigger stuff and all that stuff, the algebraic equations and the spiritual, you know what I'm saying? And so be okay where you're at and allow God to give you the fresh manna every day and seek that out and it's also like you cannot sustain your life. You cannot live on a word from yesterday. So you can't live on the manna from yesterday. You can't live on the manna from last week. So you get a revelation yesterday, you get a revelation last week, last year, and you think that's going to sustain you today. It's not. In the word every day, we have to seek the Lord every day. We have to cry out to him every day. Lord, I'm open. I'm ready to receive. Because like the Israelites, they tried to take more than they could, and it just got all gross. And it's the same with us. Like you're trying to take this crazy word the Lord gave you last week, and you're like, yeah, and then you don't open your word all week. You're not crying out to him all week, and you're wondering why you're feeling all kinds of ways, and it's because you're trying to sustain yourself on that last week's word, and you just can't do that. You just can't. So, you know, cry out to him every day and say, Lord, give me your fresh outpouring. Give me the fresh manna, the fresh word from today. What are you trying to show me today? What is it that I need to know and understand today? Give me the fresh manna, and he will sustain you. He will provide for you. He will take care of you. He is a good provider. He will never leave you nor forsake you, just like the Israel. He provided for them every day. Like he gave them food to eat. He provided for them spiritually. And we can lean on him every day to give us exactly what we need. We think that we need a month, a year worth of manna today, and he's like, no, I got you. Like, you only need this much. He's going to give us just enough, just the right amount where we can fully absorb it, we can fully digest it, we can let it sink in. If he gives us too much at once, we can't let it sink in. We don't savor it the same. We don't savor it the same way as when we have just a little portion, like we have a little portion and we savor it, and we let it digest, and we take our time with it, and we understand it, and we try to dissect it and understand it even deeper. And that's what he wants. Like he wants to give you a little bit today and say, I want you to really absorb this, and then later I'll give you more. And we just can't do that if he gives us too much. And so just don't be discouraged of the season that you're in and where you're at today, and you are like wanting to just know it all and understand it all and have just this deeper revelation, and you feel like God's not giving that to you. If you look, if you listen, and you're open, you'll see that he's trying to give you something every day, and he's trying to pour into you every day. And so wake up every morning. I wake up every morning, and when I open my eyes, the first thing I do, I give thanks to the Lord. I say a few things that I'm grateful for. I thank him for who he is. And I do that for a couple of minutes before I roll out of bed, before I look at my phone, anything like that. And I say, Lord, give me what you got today. You know what I'm saying? And then when I get in my car, that's my prayer. Lord, I'm open. What do you want me to see today? And even if it's a bad day, I feel like I end up receiving something from the Lord, because good days and bad days, he has that fresh word for you, that fresh thing for you. And he's so ready to give that to you, because he's a good God. He's a good provider. And he's like, I got you. I got you. So I hope that could encourage you guys. And, let me know like how you feel about what you're receiving from the Lord, and, you know, uh, where you're at on your, walk with the Lord. I feel like, I'm about to celebrate my spiritual birthday, and 7 years with the Lord, just really where I understood, what it means to follow him. And I feel like where I'm at today, I'm just like, whoa. It's so different from where I was 7 years ago. But honestly, the last year of my life, this last year, I feel like I have received more from the Lord than those previous 6 years. And I really believe that is because my heart posture really was so hungry to receive from the Lord every day. So I was so open to receive his fresh word, his fresh manna every day. And I think that made a big difference, like he's right there ready, like ready to pour into us. And he said, draw near to me and I'll draw near to you. Like he's there, and how much you want to get is up to you, like he's ready to pour out. He's ready. And it's really up to you on how much you're wanting to receive from him every day. And if you're wanting to receive from him every day, I went through seasons where I don't think I was as open to receive the fresh manna every day. But this last year, I feel like every day I'm like, what you got? What you got from me? What you got from me, Jesus? And it just makes a big difference. So, cheers to you on whatever season you're in and where you're at with the Lord. And I just pray over you that God would give you just enough, and that you would be satisfied and content with just enough, and know that He is so good, and He provides just enough for you to be able to fully receive what He wants. Because this walk as Christians, it's a journey, it's not a marathon. Or wait, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And we got to take our time with it and just be open. Be open to what he wants to give us every day. So I just pray that I can't talk today. Goodness, I couldn't talk last night either when I was trying to do my Bible study, when I was trying to read. But I just pray, God, that he would just give you your fresh manna today, your fresh manna tomorrow, your fresh manna next week, and that you will be sustained every day and content with what he's giving you, and just absorb it and receive it. So, anyways, cheers to you. I love you guys, and I'm praying the best over you. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if this encouraged you, if it resonated with you, how you liking your manna that God's given you, or even just give me some little nuggets of truth or revelation that the Lord has been giving you lately. I would love to know what He's been talking to y'all about. So I love y'all, and peace out.